Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
Welcome to
afternoon.
WATN. Where are they now? And you know what I'm doing here? I'm talking to iconic South African artists, people in the music business, local and international, and to find out how they came to this point in their lives very well lived. I hope to dig deep and really discover what makes them tick, because tick they do. My guests today, I have firstly up, uh, she's gonna blow you away because she's so unassuming and yet so powerful, and what a contribution to our musical history, a special vibe and everything. I'd like to introduce Angie from Peach. Hello, welcome, my
Hello.
darling. She's
How
gonna,
are you?
how are you?
Good, good, good.
Considering we're in lockdown. So, Ange,
Yes.
I've known you for like 40 years or something crazy.
Oh, easy,
I
easy.
saw you start out, and honestly, from a musician, we're going to talk about your life, but from musician to traveling to living overseas to all those things to now having a thriving global business. I mean, I can't wait to hear all the stories. And I bet you everybody else can't wait either. So I
Keep
always
my mind
say,
active.
oh, of course, we've got to. Mine too. I always say that this is a very safe place to talk about your stuff, to tell the truth, the amazing people. People get shy. Oh, I don't want to sort of, it sounds like I'm boasting. You're not boasting. This is fact. This is stuff that you've done. We want to hear it. We want to hear about the people you've met, the people you've worked with. We want no holding back because everybody wants to hear it, warts and all. We want to do that. We want to go there, baby.
I'll go back in time with you. We'll see what comes up, what
Please.
I've stored in my
And
memory.
no, people keep doing that to me as well. I'll get people walking up to me and say, "Oh, do you remember me? I met you at Plum Crazy." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? What? What? Oh, don't you remember me?" And I feel
I
so
know,
bad that I remember them, but
I know.
I mean, what
Yes,
can we do? We
yes,
don't remember
yes.
every single one of them.
No,
It's
absolutely.
awesome.
There's so
So
much experience in that mind,
that's the
and so
thing.
much
And that's
love shared.
absolutely. And that's what I want to talk about, really. It's all very well for us to say what we did and all that. It gives the wow factor for everybody. But I love talking about what you've carried with you, what it taught you,
Yes,
all that kind of stuff as
yes,
well. I always
yes,
go there. You know me, I'm a
yes,
little bit,
yes, yes.
you know,
Me
you
too. Fellow
no, I know
Piscean.
we girls, we are very sensitive and intuitive and
Absolutely.
very spiritually open and conscious, and I think that's a beautiful place to be, because especially if you've been in this kind of business, this business tests you.
Oh,
Yeah. It
very
tests
deeply.
every part of you, physically, emotionally. It is that kind of, it's a hard business.
Yeah.
Nobody that has been in this business can say, "Oh, it's been an easy ride. I've always had it easy." Mm-mm.
Look, you do it because you love it. As in,
That's
you
the
love
whole
your craft. You love your craft, but it's not easy. It's not about, we don't do it for the money. Most businesses that you get involved in, it's about the money. We
God.
didn't
Otherwise, I'd
start
be
this,
living in
no.
Cape Town on the beach.
Exactly. And it's just hard
So,
work because you love doing it. It's about passion, isn't it? So,
passion. So, okay, let's go way back. I want to ask you, when did the bug bite? Did you start off as a little girl with a musical bug? Did you feel music? Where did it all start?
it's funny how you can remember those epiphanies, and you might only have two or three in your whole lifetime. And one of those epiphanies um, was directly something to do with me being in the music industry. And
Okay.
I was what, 9, 10, 11 years old when I decided I wanted to do drama, thinking I just wanted to be on stage, I wanted to be part of the arts. And I started with drama courses. I was in the choir and I loved singing, and I was finding my way, I guess, trying to find out who I was in this realm. And I always had like a calling, a spiritual calling as well, where I always felt like I had to be in tune with myself. What is it? Who am I? What am I? And trying to discover that from a young age is you find out things in different ways.
Yes.
There's no manual. There's no manual that you learn from. You just go head on and woof, hit the wall and learn again. And so I knew I wanted to be involved in the arts. And then I went to a rabbit concert. It was the first concert that I'd ever been to. I was 11 years old. I was blown away at the Durban Town Hall. It was such a production. They were amazing. I mean, great musicians, but just a great production. All the girls screaming. It was just mind blowing. And I remember standing there. Okay, I was a fan. I was a groupie kind of fan, like all little teeny boppers were at that, because you thought that's what you had to do as well. That's what all the other little girls were doing. You had to scream. But I remember standing back in my own little headspace, looking at the stage and going, I know that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And it wasn't one of those things, oh, I want to be a music because they're up on stage. And it was just this thing that it was a private moment. I recognized the environment. It was just, wow. And where does a young girl get that unless it's something that was meant to be? That's the way I see it, because I stayed in the industry for the next, 40 years.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is that something resonated with you. Deep.
Yeah.
Deep resonation. So that's exactly what happened to me. I was in Standard 5, a kid. We went to some social. I mean, I was an absolute kid. And there was this band. I think it was Josh Clare and Trevor, Flubber Gordon.
Yes.
Guys, I mean, amazing. I was also, of course, they were like stunning guys and all that. The band was fantastic. But it's the same thing. I was like, that is where I want to be and what I want to be doing.
Yes.
So I totally get what you've just said. It makes so much sense.
And
so
then
and
then it unfolded, because that's how we met Alan. He was friends with the guys in Rabbit. Actually, he'll probably tell you all about it if we see him today.
Alan was in Conglomeration, which was the first sort of
pre-Rabbit, wasn't it?
Pre-Rabbit. It was pre-Rabbit. Alan Rosenberg was the singer with Ronnie, with Neil, with Trevor. And that was the band. The Conglomeration was the precursor to the,
absolutely awesome band. Great music.
And you met Alan. You were all living in Durban, is that correct?
Yeah, all living in Durban. He was living next door in the building next door to all of us on behind the Blue Waters there in was it North Beach? South Beach?
Yes, I remember
what the beach is called.
And
we just touched base, and we were just keen. We were the rest of the girls in Peach. Obviously, it wasn't just myself. My sister was in the band, and Penny and her sister. We were obviously young Greek girls, and hanging out together as young little girls growing up. And after they saw Peach as well, they had this little dream. They wanted to be in a band, and we just spoke about, we're going to be in a band. We've got to learn to do this. We're going to learn to this. And we just had this vision. And then we met Alan, and he came across, and he kind of suggested that he could teach the girls, the instruments and that, because I knew I wanted to be the singer. And he put me in the studio for the first time, and just to see how it would work. I was, I think, 11 and a half when I did my first recording with him. And so it just started evolving. And so that kind of dream just started evolving until it progressed to a point where we started doing some live gigs, afternoon gigs, because we were all still young and still at school. And then we met Graham Boynton, who was our first manager, who came to one of our afternoon gigs at the Robert E. Lee Hotel in Durban. And he came across, I think we've all played there. He came across and he said, you guys, I really, really would like to get involved. And so he was like our sixth member, I guess. And he kind of he just gave life to our dream, I suppose. He was the one who encouraged us to record some demos, and he took the demos to EMI, and he arranged the showcase that we had for us to eventually get the recording deal with EMI. So, and then from there we did our first single, and it all kind of started happening, and we just started gigging and doing things that I guess we dreamt that we wanted to do.
Absolutely. From a young age. Now, Graham Boynton wasn't he a journalist?
Yes, yes, he was a
Yes,
journalist,
Graham's always
and
been a journalist. Graham still, I mean, he lives in the UK now, and I
that's right.
chat to him on Facebook
Yep.
still now and then,
Yes,
as we
yes,
do. And his
yes.
daughter's a very famous
Oh,
actress, Lucy
doing so
Boynton. She's
well. Hey,
great.
awesome,
Yeah,
awesome,
she's
awesome,
doing
awesome.
amazingly.
Yeah,
See all
yeah,
these
yeah.
little
Oh,
6 degrees of
awesome.
separation. Like I know
Absolutely.
Graham, therefore I know her and
We
Rami Malek.
traveled. Yes, and we traveled. We traveled. Oh, do you?
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying
because
that's
you're not
six
going. Oh,
degrees
yes,
of
yes, absolutely. Of course we do. Of course we do. We're family.
we family, Lucy.
Yes, yes. I remember you
So we
traveling with us between, because we used to travel between Joburg and Durban all the time,
absolutely,
doing gigs because we were Durban girls. And I think you
yes.
were in Durban for a time and you drove back with us, with Graham, all in the car, and did a road trip all the way back to Joburg. And what fun it was. Do you remember
I remember that very well
that?
because I was the older woman. You know,
Yes, yes.
I was much older than you girls, and
And
I'd
he had
always
someone to talk to other than these children.
but you girls were always cool. And I remember very clearly, I'd said to Ellen, "So you've got an all-girl band now, hey?"
Yes, yes.
Because I was the scout, and I said,
Yes, yes.
"Are you copying me?" Which was it's such a joke.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, we'll talk to hopefully Alan will manage to get on.
Yes. Yes.
There's just been some technical issues, which happens in these
Yes.
shows. I mean,
It does
it's
happen.
technical stuff, and I
Yes.
ain't technical. I can
No,
imagine
nor am
other
I.
people.
Nor
And
am
when you
I.
haven't been doing this always, you get totally flummoxed. But those times, like I used to go and visit Alan in Durban because Alan and I have been friends since I was 15 years old. I was a
Yes.
kid when I met Alan.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
used to
Yes.
take me to the conglomeration rehearsals, and I met Trev and all of the guys and Ronnie and Neil when I was just this like fresh-faced young
Yes.
girl still wanting to be in the music. I've been playing in like coffee bars and
Yes.
hotel lounges and the
Yes.
Troubadour and the
Yes.
Dunkin'
Yes.
Donut
Yes. Yes.
and all these little places in town. And then I hit the big time, as in I met all these amazing people and Patrick van
Absolutely.
Bleur. Remember
Absolutely.
Patrick, of
Oh,
course.
absolutely.
And, so as I say, when I say we all know each other somehow. So I remember that road trip because I was always going to see Alan. And I
Yes.
remember just thinking, Alan is more man than I to take this on, to teach each of you
I
girls
know. I
how
know.
to play an
It's amazing.
instrument. So you were still, or you were already able to sing, like
Yes.
Teeny and
Yes.
Carol. I mean,
And
Penny.
absolutely.
Where did that
Absolutely.
come from? How did Penny know
And
she
what
wanted to be a drummer?
credit to give those girls too, because they stuck it out
Absolutely.
and practiced every day after school. That's all we did, because we set up we had like a cottage on our property, and our parents basically financed all our instruments,
Yes.
and basically set up and decked out this cottage for us so that we could go and
I
rehearse every day
remember
after
that
school,
cottage. I
because they
went there.
wanted to keep us off the streets, because they thought
Of
our young girls,
course.
okay, stay away from the boys, because we were
And the
young
young Greek
girls.
girls.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to hang out. And
By a
so
virgin and getting married.
yes, exactly.
Let me
And
tell
as
you
it
something,
turned
girls.
out, we left home. Because they signed our record deal, and they
I
couldn't say
remember.
no to it when the record company said the girls have to move to Joburg.
Yes, I remember that as well. It was like oy vey, as in
Yes.
like the Jewish community would have been the same. Jesus,
Oh,
Cindy's running around with
I
all these crazy people. I mean, really, the parents know what she's
oh,
doing.
I know.
I've
But
got
Alan
Graham
looked after
Boynton.
us.
Sorry, I just got that. So I've got Graham
Oh,
Boynton here.
there he is.
Oh my
Hey.
God, these technical
Technical.
things.
Don't worry. Okay, let me just quickly, I'm going to carry on with Anne, but I just
Yeah.
want to introduce Alan, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Alan and I, as I said, we've known each other for so long. Not only are we friends, but musical friends. Alan actually gave me my first 12-string guitar to play. And since then, I have been a 12-string player. And Alan has always been ahead of his time musically. He's always been a music maker, a trailblazer, a risk taker. I have to say that about you, Elle. You've just always done it
Thanks,
different.
Cindy.
It's the
Yeah.
truth. You did it
You've
differently.
known me for so long, I can't.
You're still doing it. Look at him. Look
Yes,
at
yes.
Alan in his
He
day.
made that guitar. He
He
made
made
that
that
guitar.
guitar. He
Yes.
made that guitar himself. Look
Yes.
at you, spunky boy. Very handsome.
Oh,
Very
goodness.
handsome. So,
About,
Ali, yes,
remind me to tell you a story about that particular picture.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to carry on with Ange. What
Okay.
I'd like to do right now, we're sort of talking about the peaches. Can we play a peach video, please? Julian
Yeah.
Darling, behind the scenes.
Getting mud for money ain't my idea of fun. It's switchblade, semaphore, a gang on the run. Oh yeah, it's a nightmare, collecting of blood, a nightmare. You get educated by a television show. 6 channel sabotage, the end blah blah blah. Stare into the future, the best has come and gone. Peak time pessimist, the news is at 10. Oh yeah, it's a nightmare, a silicone chip, a nightmare. People walking past me, they don't know my name. It's Homo sapiens, and I'm a no name, no name, no name. Will there be tomorrow if they run out of ideas? Neutron negative, a figment of fear. Oh yeah, it's a nightmare, the nuclear waste, a nightmare. Nightmare. A nightmare. A nightmare. A nightmare. A nightmare.
Wow.
The 80s, 1980, 1981.
Also had that big hair, you know.
The hair.
Let
Teased
me
it,
just
teased it.
tell you before we go on, Carol is online. Hello, Carol, darling.
Ah, Carol.
Moira
Coco.
Teeny's online.
Yes.
Stephanie Palmer, we know Steph is there. Beverly Wharton Hood. Les Bloomberg, Alan, he says, my friend, what
Hey,
a boy.
Les.
Shelley Howroyd is on. Teresa's on. Jonathan's on. Courtney's on. Everybody's on. Jenny's on. Jenny Wharton. Okay. So I'm just letting you know that we're not alone out there. Okay. So Angie, Peach, rocking, crazy, lovely. What after Peach?
I had a brief sort of stint with different bands here in South Africa. Robbie Rob from Asylum Kids, he and I started a project after he finished with Asylum Kids and Peach ended with a project called The Affections. We started recording some songs with that, and then unfortunately my mum got very ill and had to leave and go back to Australia. And so things were sort of up in the air, and we left, Carol and I, and then came back. after unfortunately she passed away,
I'm
came
sorry.
back and I joined Via Africa for a brief moment.
Yes. Which was also what a band. I mean, Renee
awesome.
is still the goddess of all time.
just
So even Wendy and I were talking about her last week.
Isn't Renee
Also,
just, goddess,
Yeah.
goddess. And so I was very, very, very fortunate to be able to have spend a year working with them, and we went over to America and we did a few stints there. And then I returned back to South Africa, and I started sort of, you go through that stage as you do in your career, where you just get despondent, you get sort of tired, and you get exhausted, and you get, because you're on the road the whole time, it's like go, 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 and lots of promises that never come to fruition, and you end up
That's the thing.
You end up giving your heart and soul 150, even 200%. And often people don't see behind the scenes. It's hard to just make a living. You know what I mean? Hard to just sustain yourself. So I started working in some cover bands, but not just to make a living, purely from to study my vocals as well. It was the way that I felt I needed to develop vocally and still stay in the industry and develop while I was writing songs and doing creative projects on the side, just to sort of get out there into the clubs and just sort of working the clubs and learning that kind of trade as well. Because before that I was only doing like not sort of festivals and not sort of dance clubs in a sense.
Residencies. And in those days, residencies.
Yes.
And didn't you join Chris Galakis' band?
Yes, I joined Syndicate, and I mean, what great musicians. So it was really just great for me. Just great learning curve.
Chris and I started that band,
That's right. There you go.
Was not because of my name. So they said, like, what do you call them? I said, Syndicate, because it's my name.
That's it. Absolutely. You just remind me of that.
Incarnations of Syndicate afterwards.
That's right. Many singers went through that band, yes.
I remember seeing you guys at the Thunderdome.
Yes. So that was awesome. It was like being at a concert every single night, the way that was set up. So that was awesome. Wonderful experience. And then we decided to go back to Australia, my sister and I. We missed my dad, who had remained there after my mom had passed away, and decided to just go and see how we could sort of fit into the Australian lifestyle. And hang out with family for a little while. And then once I got there, I started just sort of networking in the music industry, doing some gigs here and there. And before you know it, I got sort of referred to this, mainly as a backing singer. That's how you get in, to meet people, and did sessions in studios for people. And I was going along those lines. And then I got a wonderful opportunity to sing with a lot of local Australian artists who are fantastic, but those that probably all of us here in South Africa would remember, mainly, but In Excess was one of them. And I
know, now that's what I want to. I want us to play a video.
Okay.
We've got to see some of this.
We've got to see this, huh?
I mean, Angie singing with In Excess, and I know you also sang Savage Garden.
Yes, and that was
you were
Savage
vocals for them.
Yes,
and that I mean, working with, it's not the star factor because we're all musicians.
Yes.
So people would say to me as well, "Hey, you did these shows with the Police and Supertramp and all these guys," and I'm like, "No, but they would just use those on the same show."
Exactly.
Totally. I was just doing my job.
I mean, we were at airports where, you're traveling on tour and doing whatever you do around the world, and other bands are doing the same thing, and you come across each other. I mean, David Bowie was at the, he sat next to me this one time, and I thought, David Bowie, I just adored him. But I didn't, he was sitting there reading his book, with his band, waiting to board a plane while we were waiting to board a plane. And you just don't, you just got to respect the guy's space. He's just chilling with his band,
Yeah,
So, that's what you do. You meet these people,
I want to look at this video.
Oh, okay.
This was a rehearsal.
Yes, this was the last rehearsal. Michael Hutchins.
Yes, died after this.
Yes, that night we went back in the taxi together after this.
Oh my God.
And it was the last time we saw him. We were rehearsing for an up-and-coming tour, and the next day was going to be our full dress rehearsal. This was just touching up sort of final sort of bits and pieces. So So we're grateful to have this video because it was a very, very
It's
precious,
amazing
precious,
video.
precious time. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Sure.
So,
A very sad story, one of the tragedies of the
oh,
industry.
what a loss, eh? Really,
What a
really.
loss.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's those kind of things that we also like to acknowledge. You know, people say, oh, you know, these people are so weak, they kill themselves and they do this and they do that. And as we spoke earlier, I mean, Alan, also, you know, this industry is a hard business.
No, it's
It's
very
a
hard.
tough industry.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps you in check all the time.
Absolutely.
You're constantly being
Well,
called
You know,
to order.
to step up.
you've
You
had
always
the
have to
ups,
step up.
if you've had the ups, you certainly feel the downs. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. And so
Yeah.
you did amazing things in Oz, working with these
Yeah.
people, just doing your thing.
Yep.
Just name some of the names. So please, I told you this is a nice little bragging corner. We've also got Tony Gosler. Tony Gosler saying hi. Tony, we love
Hi,
you.
Tony.
Brilliant musician. Um, and Carol, of course, is going mad. Yeah, I want to say hello. Let's just name some names. Just say who a couple of people you worked with, and then I'm gonna ask about another few things, and then I want to talk to Al.
Okay. I guess, well, obviously working with INXS and Michael Hutchins, and then I worked with Terence Trent D'Arby because he joined INXS after Michael passed away. As it was the first gig the band did without Michael, and so I got to sing with Terence Trent D'Arby too, which was also one of my dreams coming true. Obviously with the what else comes to mind? Then traveling with Savage Garden, we encountered quite a few different sort of wonderful experiences with different artists. And one particular show that we did with was a Pavarotti and Friends show that he used to host every year, and he would invite all the bands that were in the charts at that time to come and participate on the show, sing one of their songs, and then they did a song with him, and then the finale, everybody came up on stage and we all sang together. And on that, and the Dalai Lama was there too, which was awesome because, you know, I'm totally, I'm, you know, a Buddhist at heart.
Sure.
And so it was probably one of my highlights, actually, that concert, because of him being there. And also Annie Lennox, I absolutely adore, the Eurythmics, and she was on the show, and this is the show. And George Michael, I shared his in-ears. Him and I kind of swapped over our in-ears last minute before we went, you know, back up on stage. So, you know, those are sort of memories that you keep. There she is, memories that you keep forever.
Yes.
And
yes,
yeah,
indeed.
and it's just one of the Bruce Springsteen, I think, Bono, we did shows with. So, you know, you come across these people and you enjoy what you do, and you do it because you love it, and as you say, they just other people doing what you do, you know. With
I totally
yeah,
get it, and it's
yeah.
keeping.
There I am,
mean,
there.
Look
With
at
Savage
you
Garden.
with your little hair, looking all glamorous.
Oh goodness!
Wow.
Yeah.
But special experiences, and I know you feel the same way. We've also walked a more spiritual path. I know you do Reiki. You're a Reiki master. I know that you've also traveled that path. I think if I want to ask you, what has kept you sane? Because a lot of the people in the music business, even today that I talk to, they all live in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging anybody.
No,
They always say,
totally.
remember what a jaw we had, and it's all a jaw, it was all then. And they haven't seemed to have moved into now. Like, yes, I had a great jaw. I've remembered all of it, but I'm here now. This is what I'm doing now.
Well,
We're
it's
still
made me
having
who
a
I
jaw.
am today. Yeah.
And it did. It's made us who we are today.
Yeah.
You know, created our lives. I mean, Alan, you're in corporate, you're in different things now also, you're in business. But having had that musical thing, it's given you an edge, it's given you some sass. It's given you, like, you're not one of the corporate guys who walks in with a suit and tie.
My musical life has been the most amazing path that I've ever walked. I can't have that experience. I can't buy it for
Yeah, you
100
can't put
million.
words to it either. I mean,
You
the
can't
I've had
put
experience
words.
success.
is
I've had success.
So
I'm not a frustrated musician. I can't
that's
say I
it.
haven't. I think
That's
that
it.
is the main thing.
that's
I've
that's
done
that's
it.
the key. That's the
We
key.
got to
It
the
wasn't
goals we
him.
tried to get to.
That's it.
Yes.
We've had
It's
number
about having
one.
fun and loving what you're
Yeah.
doing when you do it. And
And you
we've had
never
those
number one.
experiences,
Yes.
so it's real. Yeah,
And it's all
yeah.
the things and the people that remind us that people walk up to me, oh my God, Cloud was so fun. You had such great hair. And I'm like, does that mean my hair is shit now?
You
No,
had, yes.
yes,
Always we're
I
checking
had.
in. Yeah,
You
yeah,
had
yeah,
such
yeah.
gorgeous hair. And I say, oh yeah, I had cancer and it all fell out. And they all go, oh God,
Yes,
I'm sorry. And I'm like, people don't even realize what we've done, where we've
yes.
been, and
No.
how we've managed to
How you got
sustain.
through it. Yeah,
Angie, that's why I wanted to say your spiritual strength
yeah.
was what got you
Totally,
through
from the
everything.
beginning.
From the
Because
beginning, you
I
had
left home at 15 and a half,
yeah,
16, moved to
that's it.
Johannesburg, did my correspondence, my schooling correspondence, while the rest of the band were older than me. They were out
Yes,
jawling and I had to sit home and study, and because I didn't want to let my parents down, and I had to do my matric correspondence.
online.
So you've got to find online. And so you find your strength somewhere and you wonder where it came from, but somehow it's there and you build on that over the years. And
Well,
yeah.
it's done you well. Just tell us, please, what you're doing now. Where are they now? What are you doing now? I know all
Uh,
about your beautiful.
yes. Well, obviously, I still, I'm not teaching Reiki anymore or working in that
Okay.
realm. However, whenever I'm in Australia, I do still get together with the group of ladies that I used to work with, and we still do a lot of beautiful sharing. We still share some gorgeous things. So that's
Yes.
still alive and kicking.
Mhm.
I have a accessory label at the moment, a ladies
Yes.
accessory label called Janji, which I
Yes.
share with my husband Jan. So that's Jan and
Yes.
Angie. And
Yes.
we've just gone online, janji.africa, which we're very excited about. However, we can't sell at the moment because we're in lockdown and we're not
You're in
allowed to sell stuff.
lockdown. Yeah.
But I'm glad Carol's in there somewhere, out there somewhere,
Yes.
should I say? Because I've also shared the business with her in Australia, and it's called Janji by Coco online,
Oh,
and so I'm keeping the sort of the Peach girls close to my heart because Teeny from Peach works with me here in South Africa as
yes.
well.
You know?
Peach, has a few different options. We don't just sing
It's,
anymore.
no.
We just laugh and talk and share and just love each other and love doing things with each other still. So it's great.
I really, yeah, I love that. And so that's where you are now. As I said, you're running a really thriving business. It's new, it's fresh, and and I've just loved talking to you, and
Oh,
especially
thank you,
because
Cindy.
I've known you for so long, and I just
Yes,
adore you. I just
yes.
love you as a person. I
Thank you.
respect you for what you've done in your life all the way through, still standing there, still saying, I'm fine, I'm good. I've been through tough times, good times, and I'm still here. So I would like,
Absolutely.
if I could, can we play out with one of your new songs that you've been tinkering around with? You're
Oh,
still in the
absolutely.
music industry. It's just,
I'm actually playing piano for the first
I
time on it.
know. I was
So
so
it's not great,
impressed.
but it's fine.
So I'm going to play that song and then I'm going to talk to Alan for a bit, but Angie's
Perfect.
going to be with us. We've got so many beautiful messages. Alan, your wife is on the line. She says, come home, it's supper time. She's cooking.
Standing here naked, lonely. Superficial words are all I heard. All you do is just keep bruising. I look at myself and pledge I won't lose my head over what it seems was nothing. And it won't take me too long. You're losing. Yeah. Now do you feel the razor's edge when you realize our fantasies have died? Oh, I tell you it's sublime when a girl makes up her mind, give you what you want. No, never be denied of our true desire, give you what you want. Give me a damn good reason why you taste and walk away. All I can do is breathe. I hope she's good for you, 'cause I won't make you choose. My hands are cold, yet I still feel you. And it won't take me too long, you're losing me. Now do you feel the razor's edge when you realize our fantasies have died? Oh, I tell you it's sublime when a girl makes up her mind, give you what you want. No, never be denied of our true desire, give you what you want. Give me a damn good reason why you taste and walk away. All I can do is breathe. I hope she's good for you, 'cause I won't make you choose. My hands are cold, yet I still feel you. Give me a damn good reason why you taste and walk away. All I can do is breathe. What I believe is what I feel. What I choose to see is real in my world with you.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice one, Ange.
That's
Thank
such a
you.
good song. And Tim Parr thinks so too. He's online saying, love you. Everybody got lots of messages. Love you.
Hello,
Love
everyone.
this song. And, you'll do something with it if you want to. And if you don't, you don't. And you just keep
Exactly.
going.
You just
Because
keep
you
doing what
are,
you enjoy.
keep doing and keep reinventing things and changing. And people hate change. But
That's
change
it.
is beautiful.
You
And
have to
it's
have
just,
change.
you've got to have change. So now we're going to talk to my Pelly Ellie.
Yay!
How do we
So
do this
yes,
after
our
Our
interviewing
favorite.
Angie? After interviewing Angie, that thing that goes nyo, 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 nyo.
Well, it
It's
all
a sort of
started with
a
you, my
downer.
love.
rubbish. You've got great stories, my darling boy. So we're going to start also. Let's go to what happened. How did you find music? What happened?
Well, music started when I went in 1959. Goodness, I'm giving my age away. To see the first Cliff Richards and the Shadows. I'd never seen a live show. And I was at
Wow.
the Coliseum and we saw them. And it just so happened to be my birthday, maybe 1 or 2 days later. And I woke up with the guitar on my bed. And I think that was the start of everything. I was 6 years old. And my mom took me to guitar lessons. I think I had about 4 or 5 lessons just to give me a good kickstart in
Yes.
town from a guy called Ken Duplessis. I'll never forget his name.
I
And
love
he
it.
was actually a good teacher because he taught me 2-3 chords. And he said, go home and don't come back until you know these. And of course, I wanted my next lesson quickly to get more chords.
Yes.
So that's the carrot. And that was a good way of teaching. And I came
Yes.
back with those 2-3 chords, A, G, and D, I think. And then he showed me a song, and I'll never forget. I think my first song was "Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley." It was a 2-chord wonder, you know. Da da
Yes,
da
of
da da
course.
da.
Hey, it's a
It is
start.
Yeah,
definitely a
and that was a
two-chord
good
word.
start. And I was playing it for a full week. And you actually enjoy playing because you can now play guitar. You now play those
Yes.
chords. And so
Yes.
the progression went on, and I learned Living Doll because Cliff Richard all of a sudden was my hero. I'd seen him, I've
Love it.
known no other band. So yeah, and so life went on, and I learned to play guitar. And then
Yes.
through my early school days, I went to Houghton School. You know Houghton
Yes.
School, all the Bay
Yes,
girls go.
doll. All the girls
And
go.
I met Neil and Ronnie over there in school. They were schoolmates. And we
Yes.
formed a band in, I think it was 1963.
Wonderful.
I was 10 years old. And I
What?
remember sitting on Neil's stoop, and he had a cardboard box, and I was playing, and we started playing, and we said, okay, we're going to form this band. And Neil's brother-in-law was quite a lot older than us, and he was keen. He said, right, get this band together, call your friend up the road who lived in the same road as him. That was Ronnie Friedman,
Yes.
known as Ronnie Robot from Rabbit.
Ronnie Robot, of course.
And we started, and he gave us the name of League of Gentlemen. And that was a very good
That's
grooming
a
for our
last
future.
name. It's a
League
That
of
was
very
a
Gentlemen,
nice
good,
name.
great name, hey? Great name.
good grooming for our future. And
Yes.
we were keen. We were keen, and we did well, and we practiced whenever we could, and we became good, and we started playing out at school fetes and schoolhouse parties, and
Yes.
that went for about 2 years. 2 years, and then we met Trevor Rabin, who was from Parktown
Okay.
School, and he joined because he liked the band, and we were all sort of young boys just wanting to get somewhere. And of course, this guy came in, and he was the fastest lead guitar player, the fastest guitar player I'd ever known. And, yeah, and seen. I mean, he was ridiculous. He was this
Can you imagine
14,
Trevor
15-year
at
old
like
kid.
what, 12, 13 years old?
Oh man, maestro. Anyway,
Maestro, even
yeah,
then. Yeah.
he he joined, and the band was now called Conglomeration. There was myself, Neil Cloud, Trevor Rabin, Ronnie Friedman, who known
Ronnie
as Ronnie
Robot.
Robot. Yeah,
We
yeah.
know him as Ronnie
So
Robot.
Ronnie Robot, and it was the four of us,
Yes.
and we got going, and we were good by then. I mean, I was spoilt. I played with good musicians, and we
But you
all,
were good
you know,
too.
yeah, and we were good, and we started playing all the stadiums and the
Who did you
town
play
hall.
with? I know those names of those
Oh
places because I
goodness,
used to go to all those shows and the stadium shows and the socials. You know, the
there
socials,
was.
lemon squeezer. Name the name.
We were great friends with the Fireflies, Cedric
Cedric
Sampson,
Sampson, I've
Gary
had him on the
Harrison,
show.
Errol Friedman, who just so happened to be Ronnie Friedman's
Brother.
brother. Hawksney Madeira, Fireflies, great band. Loved them.
Hawksy. Oh my
Oh,
God, Hawksy.
wow.
And we grew up together. Yeah, we all grew up together as friends. What else? What else? Oh,
You played with Hawk,
we played with Hawk. We played with Suck. There were so many bands in
all
those
those
days.
bands, man.
Oh my good.
I mean, when I
Yeah.
first saw Hawk on stage and, Dave Ornelas with
Free,
that fro,
Freedom's
I was like,
Children,
Freedom's
Yeah.
Children.
Otis
Wasn't Julian
Waygood,
Laxton?
The Flames.
Was Julian Laxton with Freedom's Children?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
I remember. And the Flames. Holy
The
crap.
Flames. Yeah. Lovely
Whoa,
band.
those are names from the past, boy.
And I remember a time in our lives where we played at the Out of Town Club. Those who remember the place called the Out of Town Club. Anyway, it was a big house converted to a club, I think in Honeydew.
Yes.
And all bands who were big names played there. We were resident band there as well. We had a room upstairs. It was wonderful being able to just pass out upstairs after a gig instead of coming all the way home. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause that was
and
quite far in those days.
And what else?
they had open air festivals there. It was amazing. It was really good. We went into the fields over there. We did strawberry picking. It was our second home.
Wow.
That was that, yeah. And then we started playing bigger events as conglomeration. All the town halls. We
Yes.
played. I can't remember that big stadium in Cape Town, right in the centre of Cape Town. I'll never forget. It was a cold day, miserable day, and we were waiting to go on stage. And of course, I was so cold out. I never brought a jersey, as youngsters don't think of those things, or food. Those things are not important. Just the jaw's important. And I was sitting under the stage, getting out of the wind, and this young hippie flower child type of lady, young girl, came with a big tin of cookies. I was so hungry.
That's already
I
sounds
was
dangerous.
so hungry.
Okay.
They were crunchies, unbeknown to me. And I had 2 or 3 of those, thank you very much. And by the time I got into stage,
Could you sing?
I was drunk. Unbeknown. I mean, I didn't want to. I didn't know what these things were. I was totally innocent. And I think that's what happened to me. It's the first time I got introduced to the other side.
One of my,
Boy, did I get high.
if I can just add in there about the first time I went to one of those kind of wild parties, because we'll call that one of your wild sort of moments, Alan. Cindy, you were there too. The Bay City Rollers after party. There's
Oh, yes.
oh yeah.
You got fun.
We had fun. We had fun. Yeah.
A lot of fun. Except when people used to offer me cookies, I always used to say, "No, thank you, I'm on diet."
Yes.
But when you're hungry and cold and starving and you're unaware what they are, you eat.
Exactly.
I love that. Great story, Ellen.
Then we went on to Peach. What actually happened there?
From there,
You know, I came in late because I didn't know how to connect. I'm stupid with these electronic things. But anyway.
Don't worry,
I don't know if Angie's explained how we got together.
Yes, we explained that, but I want to ask you, when did you leave Conglomerate? What happened there? Why did you go?
Conglomeration, I was more involved with my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Lynn Cohen, who ended up being Lynn Buck. And the guys sort of, it was almost like a John Lennon, Yoko Ono thing. And they said, listen, it's not working, bugger off type of thing. And maybe I wasn't handsome enough. But I don't know if that was the real reason. Anyway, we still remained great friends. And they went into the army and they joined up as Rabbit. They came out with Duncan Foro, took my place. Yes. And I mean, the rest is history. But we all remained friends. I've even played in Duncan Foro's band as well.
I know.
For a stint. That was fun as well.
But Alan, you were just, I have to say, like, yes, they went on to do other things, but you always have sort of, you see yourself in some way as being less than, but you're not, and you never have been. You've created so many amazing things. I say you're a trailblazer. I mean, putting Peach together was like an amazing feat, And I remember Graham Boynton actually reminded me.
Peach was totally unplanned.
I know, but it happened, and you made it happen. You put all those girls together in the right way and gave them the right instruments to play and taught them to play.
Taught them how to play.
No. It's phenomenal. Now, when you went to EMI, wasn't Paul Zamek?
Yes.
Your guy.
I'm glad
there
you
was
mentioned
Alan
him.
McGuinness.
Yes.
There was Ron Quinn.
Because I'm going to talk to Paul at some time on my show.
There was Paul McGuinness.
Alan McGuinness.
Paul Zamek. Alan McGuinness.
Paul lives in Nashville.
Yes.
You know, and when I go there, I sometimes stay a few nights with him and Desi's
Yeah.
wife, and we're still great friends. And I'm going to definitely have Paul on the show. But I just wanted to
Absolutely.
remind you of that because
Yes, yes,
Graham reminded me of it. So,
yes.
Alan, Peach, tell me about.
I just want to
And
tell you something else about Peach.
yes, that's what I
Peach
want to know.
was Peach was Peach, but Graham Boynton, who was our manager, who discovered us,
Yeah,
and he was such a smart guy. I mean,
yeah,
he through his influence got us to where we were.
yes.
I don't think we would have had the same success or the same notification or being even noticed
Yeah.
without him. He was an amazing
He
guy, and
breathed life into
I
it. He
don't know
breathed
where.
life
Yeah,
into
I
it.
don't know where he
Absolutely.
is right now. And if you're
He's
online,
in
Graham.
England and he's online and he's
Oh,
Oh
he's
staying.
wow,
there.
is Graham there?
Graham is
And
there.
how's
Graham
it from me,
is
Graham?
saying hi.
Yeah, you
Isn't
know,
that cool?
I always tease Graham because I said Lucy Boynton, who's made it so big in
That's right. We're
as
talking
an
about that
actor.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't call him Graham Boynton. I call him
Lucy's dad.
Lucy's dad. Yeah, I don't know if he likes it.
Oh, you know, and he was instrumental in not the video that you guys saw just earlier. He was the
Right.
lyricist for that. He wrote the lyrics to that song. So you know, we've got
Really?
to give him
Wow.
credit there.
He was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
And
Oh, he wrote for quite a few of our songs. He wrote
Yeah.
words.
Yeah. No.
Dino Archon sent me a message earlier.
Ah.
It's a complicated
Yes.
game, he said.
Yes. Yes.
One of your songs. Hey?
Oh. Yes.
Just also these connections of all these people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Ali, Peach kind of, it fizzled in a way because it's the same as Clout. For us, it was
It's all the promises.
yeah, the
It's
promises,
all the promises of going overseas,
all that stuff.
and it doesn't come to fruition.
And it's
You know,
disappointing.
I don't want to say it was promises. It was empty promises. They meant what they said, but then you get the other side of the coin. You get the people in the States, in the UK, who say yes, 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 we'll get it on, and nothing happens.
Yes.
So it wasn't intentional that these people promised us.
And they
things.
forget they're dealing with people here. You're not just a commodity, you're a person. And I think that's what you learn down the line, is that you end up getting exhausted with this, keeping it up for everybody. But, you know, you're the one carrying it really at the end of the day. So how long do you want to carry the promises? We love doing music. That was never the problem, but it was just that you were sort of like steered in a way, controlled in a way by so many people that never followed through with what they promised you. So you felt like you were driven without being able to drive yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you just get to a point where you want to drive your own life, you know?
And then there was
I think part of the drive is being a celebrity in brackets in those days.
Yes.
And you're invited to all these parties, not because you're Alan Rose, but because you Peach.
Of course.
And you have to like play your part and be, what's the word, menial and play the game, you know. But look, it was fun. I mean, we had lots of champagne parties. We had wonderful parties. We were invited to fancy parties, very fancy parties.
I'm sure.
We opened up the show. We opened up in Cape Town. The Herenkracht Hotel had
Capital
a
Records,
club.
I think. It was Capital Records Club. Yeah,
and we were invited to actually open that. So yes, we did do quite a lot of things like that. Yeah.
So, you know, all the stuff, as we said earlier, I spoke about us not living in the past, but this having influenced our lives and given us a taste of certain things. For me, in Clout, I mean, we just broken into the American top 50. You know, we're number 52 on Billboard. And that's
what an inspiration for us, you know, when you see some your fellow.
It was an inspiration. But everybody
those
also
goals.
thought we were like, oh my God, they must be living the high life. But we were not. We had no high life to live. It was all just smoke and mirrors. Yes, the charts were correct. I mean, I've just got an information that is quite good information that Clout have now sold up 17 million albums worldwide. That is a lot of records. Yes, but But what did that do for us?
Yeah,
So we can't live in that. We can't live in that past. Ellen,
no,
how you
yeah.
kept going? I mean, you went from Peach, you went into some corporate stuff. What did you do after Peach?
I went into sales. I worked for Dion's for a while.
Yeah.
Then I was going through a time where I just didn't want to work 7 days a week. And Neil Cloud, who we were good friends and
Yes.
still are, said,
Yes.
you're my butt. Why don't you come and learn the furniture trade and come and work for me? And I ended up working for him, thinking that we were going to work from 5 days a week, and then I'd be able to sail because I love sailing,
Yes.
and we'd be able to sail on weekends and have a 5-day gig, which
Yes.
was like a dream. Go to work and come back, and you got the whole weekend free.
Weekend
Little
free.
did I know I was working Saturdays and Sundays in the factory as well. We were very busy.
Wow.
And then I
Okay.
started my own furniture business and
Okay.
have been in that ever since.
And
We
that's where you
sell,
are now.
yeah, we sell office furniture. I had a factory. I don't have that anymore. I work from home, and I've
It's
sort
good.
of taking life a bit easier.
And why not? Why shouldn't you? I mean,
Absolutely.
and I want to just talk about the sailing a little bit because because I've known you so long, like I used to come to Durban and visit you. We used to
Oh
come
goodness, we used to
together,
sail
man.
then.
It was me, it was Tommy,
Yes,
and
Tommy.
my boyfriend
Oh,
Tommy. Oh, bless his
Tommy.
heart.
We
Tommy was
love
the
him.
band, the Rag Dolls, but
Oh, we
they were
love them.
working. Yeah, we loved Tom. So Tommy would come, and then my brother would come,
Oh, we
and
loved Gary too.
Neil, Ross,
Oh,
and
yes.
Puro.
And Piro.
My
Piro.
goodness, I remember.
Ah,
We were like a
those
team.
were
We used to
awesome
come down,
days.
drive
Used
down
to knock
after.
on my door at 4 o'clock
Yeah,
in the morning and say, I'm here. Didn't know
we
you were
did.
coming.
You used to leave. Sometimes you'd leave the key for us hanging on
That's right.
you put our hand in the door, in the window, and he'd leave it on the dishcloth, and we just pick up the key and come.
That's
And he
it.
wakes up in the morning to go to work, and there's like 6 people sleeping on his sofa. Hello, we're here. And
Yeah.
Ellen, what I have to say about you as a person, having known you as a person for so long, besides being talented, still writing amazing music, amazing
Yep.
songs, incredible stuff, still doing
Thank you.
things. You've got a home studio now, you're
Oh,
having fun. But what I have to say about you, which has always been a very big thing for me, you have always been you have such a generous spirit. You give of yourself.
yep.
You do, Alan. You just do. You always give of yourself. When I
Well, as
didn't,
my sister used to say, it's a pleasure giving. It's not a
I
pleasure
know
receiving. It's a
that's the
pleasure
thing.
to afford to be able to give.
But
I mean,
that's
how
you,
many
and
times have you said, wouldn't you love to go into like a township and just with like a truck full of food
yes,
and, to give? It's such a
yes,
wonderful thing. Yes, it
it
is.
is a
It,
Yeah.
wonderful
it
thing.
is
Sharing
a
is
spiritual,
great. Yeah.
It
it
is.
is spiritual.
And that's what we're sitting with here in our lives today. It's like when I say, where are you now? Some people might say, oh, I'm doing so well and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm so happy for you. But what I love about the show, doing the show, is I'm asking you who you really are now. What is your life
Well, I
about?
can't fool you because you know me more than anybody else. You're my sister.
I
I mean,
know
I've got the Peach Girls. They're my sisters.
it's true.
Yeah.
But
And you
it comes around full circle, doesn't it? You come back to the real
absolutely.
people in your life, and you get to
But
the
Yes.
that's
point
the
where you don't
thing.
Yes.
need many, and you meet many people along the way, and you have wonderful experiences, and you feel so blessed with your
My wife had
experiences
a
and
very confusing time meeting me and knowing me because
She
all
must.
my all my girlfriends were true friends. They were more than girlfriends. They were sisters.
yeah.
I grew up with
Yes,
these girls. I
yes,
grew up with the Clout girls. I grew up with,
yes. We
uh,
know you
you know,
backwards.
yes.
Absolutely. I mean, you were in
So,
my house. He used to call my mother mom.
mom, yeah, ma,
My
and
mother was mom.
she used to make cakes, and I used to lick the bowl. Oh
But
yes,
your
goodness.
mom and dad, Cindy, were very good to us too. When Alan used to bring us to Joburg, we
Always,
used to end up at your home. They
Yep,
always.
spoilt
we
us
used to
like we were
stay
their
there.
children.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Wonderful
We had
memories.
parties at
Yeah.
my house, some parties
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
not so sure. Remember,
Awesome.
I had a canoe on the pool. Do you
A
remember
what?
that? A canoe on the pool.
Yes, of course we do.
Remember the
Yes.
canoe? I mean, I was such a lady of leisure. I used to slide there in the smoking days.
That's right. That's right. It's
Sunglasses
coming back.
on,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
bikini on, just nude.
No,
Like,
that's it.
like
That's it.
nude. I thought I was
That's it.
such a big deal. I was such a doll. I was such a big deal. Um,
Oh, we
before
loved you. We just loved you. You were like like our big sister. I don't know, our big special sister that we kind of,
Oh,
yeah, it
but
was
we
great.
still love each other. Still see your
Yeah.
sister.
Yes.
See Teeny
Yes.
and her sister as well. And I
Yes.
Nikki,
just
Yes.
love,
yeah.
The
Nikki
connection.
and
Yeah.
the connection is always there, and that
Yeah.
to me is, for me, it's what this show is about. I'm talking to people that know about the stuff, that are connected in some way, and then I
Yeah.
get this. And Alan and I are still such good friends, and Ange and
I
I are
know.
such good friends, and
Well, the first time I saw you, Cindy, after, I don't know, 20 odd years, didn't even,
we,
I mean, I was seeing a lot, I just burst into tears
I
we just burst into
know.
tears when we saw each other because it was such a, I don't know, recognition. We recognized something that was
A good
quite fitting.
reunion. Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
good
yeah,
reunion. Our
yeah,
souls saw each other, and
yeah,
Alan and I have been in touch all these years. We have never not spoken. We have never not seen each other.
yeah,
Um, Still to this day. I mean,
yeah.
and of course, yes, your wife, Deb's had a hard time, I'm sure,
Hard
because
time, yeah.
all these girls that hug him and kiss him and tell him how
Now
handsome
she's
he
all best
is.
friends with you. I mean, she phones you and she
She
speaks more
does.
to
We
you
talk
guys,
separately to you. So Deb's and
Teeny and
I
everybody.
has become friends with all of us.
Yeah,
And we are her family too, you know.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
this is just
It's
I am
about the people, isn't it? It's about the people. And
I
it's
have
about being vulnerable and feeling, expressing
that's
it.
it.
And music allows you to express yourself. But sometimes you kind of, we don't allow ourselves to express our truth. But when you get to that point where you're not scared to say what you want to say in your lyric or the way you look in your video or whatever it is,
Yes,
you're just being
yes.
you. And when you are you, people connect with you. It's just,
And that is
it's
the
so much more
truth.
powerful. And that's
That is
where we are at today. You know what I
And
mean?
that's where we are today. Because
Yeah,
what I say about the show, that's what I mean. Where
yeah,
are you today? Where's your heart?
yeah,
Where's your soul?
yeah,
How are you? How are
yeah,
you
yeah,
feeling? How are you dealing
yeah,
with your life? It's
yeah.
all very well to, as I said, to talk about all the fabulous
Oh,
things that have
yeah,
happened. And we want to talk about them because people are
yeah,
interested. But I'm
yeah.
interested in the people. I'm
Mm.
interested in what you've done in your lives to be this person that you are today. And
Today,
that's what Where Are You Now is all about. You know, where are they
absolutely.
now? What are they doing? So
Thanks
I
to you for creating this platform.
Yeah,
well,
it's a wonderful platform,
it's
really.
such a great platform. I was given this platform by Julian on Discover TV. And
Wonderful.
he said to me, "Hey, I think you'd be great for this." And I said, "I've been dying to do something like this for so
Yeah,
long."
yeah,
And
yeah.
getting the chance
Perfect.
to do this, for me, I am in my element.
Absolutely, it's
You
perfect.
guys and seeing the faces again.
You know,
Um,
I know he's a friend, but I mean, let's face it, we're being interviewed by the great Cindy.
oh,
That's really
Absolutely.
what it is.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Legend.
thank you
Legend.
both for being with me.
You
Thank
great,
you for the
Sims.
time. I love you guys so much. And everybody
Love
out
you
there
too.
who has come on, watch the show every
Hi,
week. We just send the best we can. All these all these names are popping up. Just know we're not alone on this platform. We're not just
No.
sitting here and talking nonsense for nothing. And there is
And when,
yes.
no, carry on. Sorry, you finish.
Uh,
You
There's
talk.
a way of paying, if you want to make any donations to the musicians, there's a busker code and it tells you how to do it. So you can always go there. And I want to play out with a song by Alan, one of his new songs, one of the ones that
Awesome.
he's just recorded.
It's
Oh,
brilliant.
And
this is made in lockdown.
It's brilliant.
it is
Thank you,
brilliant.
Cindy. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you all
And please,
so much.
everyone,
And thank
support the
you
music
everybody out there.
industry.
We
Thanks,
still
guys.
saying it. Love you guys. Mwah. All of you.
Thank you. Mwah.
We're just going to wait for the video, Jules. The last one is Alan's song. We can talk in the meantime.
Yeah, I suppose we can. It's called Take My Breath Away. I
Take
did
my
it obviously in lockdown,
I love
Yeah.
it.
and you'll hear a lot of breathing in it. And the whole thing was inspired by a plugin that I found of breathing. And I thought, well, I can use this.
I
And
like
that just
that.
became a song.
I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
Well, it looks like Jules not finding it.
Gillian, are you there, darling? Because I was going to play out, it was earlier in the sync. If we don't find it, we don't find it. But I'd really love to have it as our
Thanks,
last.
Bev Whartonhood. Thanks for that.
See the names. They can see the
I
names.
just see all the names coming up. Yeah. It's awesome.
There we go. Playing out with the song. Thanks, everybody.
No,
Peace and love.
it's not the right one.
Isn't it?
No.
This is Affections.
No, it's not the right one. Zoop.
This is with Robbie Rob.
Take My Breath Away.
It's called Take My Breath Away.
It's not a video, maybe. That's why.
No, it's
That's
not a video, it's an
Yeah.
audio file. So everybody's enjoyed it. I've got so many great, fantastic.
When I put this on Facebook last night, I had such an amazing response.
Yeah.
So many people came on saying, yay, we're staying up, we're going to see it. And thanks, guys, for that.
Thank you,
Harry.
everybody.
It's been great. It's been great.
Hit the town on a perfect day. Was a bat with a grud, had a lot to say. It soon got dark when they turned on the screws. It was a government farm singing the blues. I got my head in my hands on the edge of the bed. Had the TV preaching, listen what they said. And summer's gonna be here in a couple of days. Gonna chase away the blues by the end of May. Oh, it didn't happen. They meddled with toys in a chemical lab, composing the blues with politicians. They played with chalk and they played with cheese, or rather leave the blues to musicians. They found ways to alleviate what they did wrong, even promised us the hole in the bagel. Now the world sits tight and we've run out of wine. No more shaking hands and we're gonna feel fine. Oh, it didn't happen. Then the world stopped spinning, going round and round. Then the world stopped turning, it was upside down. Oh, what just happened? Oh, what just happened? Someone tried to take my breath away. Show us the way to get over this. Show us the way.
Oh, very cool.
Then the world stopped spinning, going round and round. Then the world stopped turning, it was upside down. Oh, what just happened? Oh, what just happened? Someone's gonna steal my breath away. What just happened? What just happened? Someone's gonna steal my breath away.
We have fantastic comments.
Awesome,
Everything.
man.
Everybody's
Awesome.
just, that's so lovely. Alan,
What a great
the
song.
Bowie and the boss.
Bowie, hey, yeah,
Brown
totally.
and Springsteen together.
Yes,
Brown and
absolutely.
Springsteen. But that's
Awesome.
Alan, you know, his
Awesome.
lyrics, his just thing. Everybody, I just, so much love coming from everybody. Shelley, thanks, my angel. Everybody, just again, thank you so much. What a great show. And
Thank you.
thanks for your time and your love.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness.
It's good
My
to
boys
see you
just
both.
walked in.
Hey, Bruce just walked in. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Elvis.
Mark just arrived. Now, Alan
Elvis has just walked in. I tried to keep him out.
Elvis has got something to say.
Elvis, oh my Lord, there he is. Okay.
Come here, my boy.
Come here, my boy. Oh, you guys. Mwah. Love you all very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Cindy. Hey,
Pleasure.
all the
Thank
best.
you.
Hey.
Thanks for the opportunity, Cindy. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Hey,
That's
thank
what
you.
I want to do. It's like too much fun.
Keep doing it.
Gary